Hey, man.
How you doing?
First podcast.
Yeah.
Man, we've been talking about this forever.
Yeah.
And I feel like we had a false start once where we were like, let's test out our new microphones and like try and do this podcast thing. And then like 6 months later, we're like, oh shit, we should probably do something about this. But anyway.
So this is episode 1.
Yeah.
There was one previously unlisted episode that nobody ever saw that we did about 9 months ago. And we had a little Zoom H1 and lapel mics and just waffled on for an hour at Daniel's house. So we exported an MP3 and I actually listened to it in the car like the following day or something. I'm like, oh, this wasn't that bad. And then we literally did nothing.
We got busy.
Yeah. And then I started making a couple of YouTube videos a couple of times. And then we've had so many conversations because we hang out like every Wednesday night. We do boys' night, 1 week at Daniel's, 1 week at mine. And we just have so many cool talks. I'm like, I feel like other people would really enjoy this because like we both love talking about like photography, business and gear and all that. So we thought, let's give it a go. Let's do a podcast. So here we are.
Yeah, man. I always feel like we should have documented what we were talking about because, I mean, it's always like what's going on in the industry, what's new, what's cool, but also like new tricks that we learned. Well, like, oh, I was on this shoot and then this ended up happening and this is the way I worked around it. Or, oh man, I had this issue with the audio dropping out once here and thank God I had this to do, you know, like the wireless
Some
goes.
real pro tips.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like we're always like, and even just things that aren't even like, I guess camera related. It's like, you know, how we stay creative or like what we like to do on the weekend that sort of jogs our memory to then do film something a different way or what inspires us. It's just like all over the place and it's sort of, I guess, interesting to talk about and probably inspire or like educate some other people as well. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll do formal introductions. Here we go. Hi, I'm Isaac, and this is Daniel. We've both been doing videography for years and photography even longer. So Daniel and I both first got our cameras. We got little Canons in 2006. And like
300D, man. 300.
Yeah, man, 300D for life. Shout out to 300D. And then, yeah, soon after that, like started taking on a bit of paid work. Obviously not doing it full-time professionally straight away. And then the first few years were obviously just photography. So like we're talking like 2006, 2007, 2008, only taking photos. 5D Mark II came out, which shot video.
Oh, yeah.
I did some sick videos with background blur in my backyard and they were absolutely garbage, but they had background blur, so I was impressed. But didn't sort of do any video work. Nobody asked me for video work, just kept doing photography. I'm mainly doing portraits, fitness, lifestyle, that kind of stuff. Daniel can talk about himself in a second, but nobody cares.
Oh, mate.
But
mate, we did this thing. We did at the beginning. We worked together as well. Like we had a full on like wedding photography business. We were like team where the two of us like you were always the long shooter. You're like, I'll get real tight. You get the real wide stuff.
Hashtag Boke.
But yeah, like you know, it was an interesting way, I guess, to start is you know getting into the wedding industry and you know, I guess you kind of find out your formula and how you like to shoot and I guess you know like learn your different techniques from an environment where I guess it could be quite regular, like as in you start with the ceremony, you know, or actually you start with it's been a while since we've done it. Start with the getting ready shots, and then go into the ceremony, and then the pose shots, and then the reception. Like, and I guess it gave us a structure to sort of you know work on to evolve into. So. But anyway, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd let everyone know.
Sorry about that, guys. Back to me now. So anyway, our topic is sort of going to be what we've noticed since maybe 2015. I'm not picking a hard date there, but we'll just go somewhere around there. So say 2012, I got a 5D Mark III. Again, did a couple of tests with like playing around with the video features, but nothing paid or professional or anything like that. Again, obviously, everyone knows me as a photographer, so it's not like everyone just magically knows I've got a 5D Mark III, so like, oh, let's get some video done. But there just wasn't sort of that much demand for it. The only time I ever got asked for video is if we're shooting a wedding. They'd be like, oh, do you do wedding videos as well? Which I'd always refer to somebody else because I didn't want to like try and do both at once or contract to somebody else and have the pressure of hoping they do a good job. So then, from 2015 to now, I've really noticed that like photography sort of stayed the same. Maybe it's growing slightly for me just because I'm getting a bit more work now. But the amount of video that everyone's asking for has skyrocketed. So the short version of this video would be, I've noticed that over the last 5 or so years, people are wanting the media requirements have changed to be more, we need lots of photos regularly. So say our regular Instagram posting schedule of a post each day or whatever they're doing. And then they want video as well. Whereas previously they'd be happy with just like, let's do 3 photo shoots a year and that's enough for my website and my Instagram and stuff. Now they need so many photos. So like, we're just going to in-house it. We just need like somebody with the latest iPhone to take some interesting photos, and that's going to be our daily content. But the thing they can't do themselves is video. So I'm finding I'm getting way more video work, and they're all much more prepared to pay for it. Whereas when on the photo side, like obviously we can take a better photo than they can with our phone, but it's just some content for Monday morning Instagram. They don't need something super professional. They can just take a decent shot from an iPhone, and that's all they need there. So I'm finding a lot of demand for videography as demand for photography sort of waning off a bit. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, man, but let's back it up, mate. You explain where you came from.
Oh, yeah.
People want to hear what I'm into.
Here we go.
Mate, I'm an outdoorsman. I got to share this. So I guess we started with that wedding stuff, and then I remember I started doing a couple little fashiony things, and I really fell in love with natural light and flares and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm more of an outdoorsy person, so it just automatically transitioned into the whole outdoors fall driving lifestyle kind of scene, and that's where the photography then started to get that natural flair and also just turn into I guess more outdoor industry. But that's really where I came from photography wise, and then as you said, like things ended up then transitioning for both of us just in our own industries into the more video requirement, like I think I heard someone, I can't remember who it is unfortunately, but someone said that due to COVID and stuff like that, it was kind of the way people wanted to consume media and get their message across is by going into the video side of things rather than the photography. It's I guess a chance to change what you're doing and find work when you can, just because of like the way that the world is.
Yeah, so I don't want to mix up cause and effect, but I felt like I started really getting into video a couple of years ago. So yeah, in 2016 got a 5D Mark IV, which was the first Canon that did 4K and autofocus on the still side of things. And just the bitrate on that was insane, so you couldn't shoot much. And then at that point, like I actually started playing with video a bit. And then soon after that got a X-T3 Fuji. And that was just like my little runaround camera, because like the 5D4 was sort of big battery gap, huge L-series lenses and stuff. So I just wanted something small and light to do everyday stuff with. So anyway, decided to do a video shoot in a gym for fitness. And then we shot A and B cams. So one was the 5D Mark IV and one was the X-T3. And just like, that was one of my first proper video shoots. But that was like a little bit of a train wreck, because like the color profiles on both were so different, and like we're under fluorescent lighting, and like the Fuji was so much sharper, and just like the footage looked so different. And the dude sort of partly going red because he's training so hard, and like he's got like really yellow sort of tan going on and stuff. So it's like all the colors, I could never match them or anything. So like at that point I'm like, okay, I want to do more video, I've got to pick a system. So that's when like I bought a second Fuji, and then from there I sort of started advertising for video more and more and slowly building out my portfolio. And I sort of found whenever you tell somebody you do video, and I'm waffling on a bit. Did you want to interrupt?
No, mate. No, you're making good points. I'm letting you go.
Oh, I'll get to another good point, which I think I might have.
Although I do feel like I can't see your mouth.
Yeah.
Like you need to lower this thing down or something. Sit up straight, mate.
So, so I found then I had like a little portfolio going on so I could show people. One interesting thing I found when I was first getting started is nobody cares about your portfolio. So I'd sort of go up to somebody and say, hey, I do video. And they'd be like, sweet, I need a testimonial video done. And I'd be like, okay, I'll show you my portfolio. We can work out, for a match if you like my style and stuff. And they'd be sort of like, I don't care, just shoot my video. So, they just need a testimonial done. They don't care about what exact lighting style. As long as it looks nice and sounds good, they're happy with it. So I sort of found early on, I was sort of like trying to build up my portfolio, but all you really needed to do was just have one video and just start offering your services, because there were so many people out there wanting video. And oftentimes they sort of wouldn't ask for it. They're sort of like, oh, I've been thinking for a couple of years I should get a video, like as soon as they find out you do video. So just like so weird that so many people were wanting it but weren't necessarily looking for it. And when they just, as soon as you offer it, they just go for it. They don't really care about portfolio or anything, as long as I guess you didn't quote too much.
I found the same thing. Like I've been wanting to do a show reel forever, but being so busy I haven't just got around to it. But a lot of the time what I ended up getting work from is word of mouth. Like people say, this guy is good, he got the result I wanted in a quick time frame. We didn't fluff about, we got the job done, we got the results that we wanted. We put the video out there and it sold product or it informed or educated. And you know, I mean, we're off topic a little bit, but you know, it was a show reel. I think would be great to have, and it definitely communicates a point of like you can get really nice looking shots. But I guess more for me, being in a storytelling kind of industry, I guess it's also nice to see finished work. But it didn't end up being a requirement. People just said, this guy's good, you need to use him. And people just kept ringing like, hey, I heard from blah, blah, that, you know, you do good work, you get it done, we get the results.
Oh, yeah, man. I feel like a show reel is a really efficient way to show the visuals you're capable of creating.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily wanting the best visuals or the hypest show reel. They want, you know, in your case, a 45-minute TV episode shot sort of thing. So they, if anything, want to see examples of that and then hear stories from other people, how they're in the bush with you for a week and you're pleasant to work with. That cares more than who's got the highest impact show reel or stuff like that.
Yeah, when you spend a week with people in the bush, you definitely want to be able to get along with them and not like have to like drag your feet in the morning to get going. Like, oh, this guy's such a you know, grind to work with. I don't want to do what he says or what, you know, you're going to lose work real quick if you're not great to get along with and a pleasure to work with, I guess. So, I mean, that's not like, I wouldn't say being a pleasure to work with is the only requirement to be like, obviously there's results there as well. Like the finished product looks good.
Yeah.
But once you go, okay, there's a great finished product, it then comes down to who am I going to pick based on what they're like to work with, and you know, all those sort of like, you know, are they organized? Do they get things done? We didn't fluff about and go down this path that didn't even need to be shot. You know, they want to get like, people are busy these days. They want to spend the least amount of time they can capturing this content so that they can move on to whatever else they need. If it's a marketing person, they've got plans and social media and stuff like that. But you know, if for some reason the boss is in front of the camera, he's like, mate, I'm running a company. I need you to like get this stuff done so that I can like get back to running the company. Like, I don't want to be standing there while you're like trying to work out what the next shot is. Like, I feel like that's a huge part of, once they know that you can capture the footage and get a good result that, you know, it looks nice to watch and it's not boring. We always talk about how
we're about to get so sidetracked.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I mean, this is a podcast. We're not like, yeah, it's not like a 1 minute video that we're trying to communicate a point really quickly. But yeah, I feel like the art of telling a good, like with any video, whether it's a minute or 45 minutes, is to keep their attention the whole way through, to either like make, if it's a 45-minute TV show, to be interesting the whole way through and not like jump on your phone and be bored, or you know, if it's a 1 minute thing that you're trying to sell, you don't want them to flick through on Instagram to the next video. You want to get to the end to then tell them what to do, the call to action. You know, it's yeah. I think that's the important part, but also, you know, who you want to work with as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So going back on topic, when did you first start noticing like the demand for video, like increasing much quicker than the demand for photography?
For me, it was probably like a year ago, or I guess like a little bit into COVID, you know, like, which for us in Australia was February 2020. And, you know, like it was probably more like, because I ended up having everything shut down and people didn't want to bring external people into the company. You know, they were like, look, we're just going to go on lockdown for, I think it was like April for me. April pretty much was like mainly like zero work. But, you know, I ended up being after that slightly. So probably June, July, people just wanted video. Like that was, you know, that was the probably turning point for me.
Yeah.
Is June, July. But also I think like, it's kind of like, I mean, you didn't want to get into cause and effect, but I think it also comes into other things like, you know, phones have got so good at taking photos now. A lot of the people like companies I work with have a marketing person or department, and sometimes they're just like, look, we're just going to get a quick photo of the latest special or the whatever on my phone and put it on social media, and then we'll get someone in to take professional photos once a year. Or
yeah, it's almost like disposable content sort of thing. Like just
it happens so quick.
We're posting it to Instagram today.
Yeah,
I don't mean that in a rude way, but they just need something that's going to be posted today and forgotten about tomorrow. So yeah, why pay for that when like?
Well, we're not dealing with like big companies like Toyota or whatever. Like they've got a marketing budget they've got to work towards, and they need to put out so much content now that they just can't hire someone once a week, or I mean, they could probably, if depends on their budget, maybe they could get someone in house. But I think that's where, for my clients, the marketing person has become like, you know, they've been into photography anyway on the side maybe or something, and they've just gone, look, you can do the marketing and take photos while we're there, but we're obviously there to capture video because the need is there to just create video content now. I think. You know.
Yeah, I feel like they've got a certain marketing budget each year, and they go, okay, we're going to do a bunch of homemade content, and then we're going to do a bunch of professional content, as you would.
Yeah.
But I feel like all the professional content, like, whereas that years ago might have been like mostly photo, a bit of video, it almost feels like it's 100% video now. Where they're just like, there's no point getting a photo shoot unless it's like a brand new product and we need to make a brochure or a website for it or something.
Yep.
But unless it's like a brand new product for just like your normal marketing month to month, year to year, they're sort of like, they never like shoot the same product again or anything like that. Like there's no point. Everyone knows what it looks like. It's already on the website.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's just like, get the product in a different location, take a photo with your iPhone. There's Tuesday's post. And then, so that means like anybody in the media industry, like they're all seeing, I feel like from the people I speak to, which isn't that many people, they're all seeing like more demand for video, and all the people I know that used to do photography are now doing video as well.
Yeah.
And some of that is they're now interested in it, but some of it was like, that's what the market required. If you wanted to stay in business, you sort of had to adjust.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it all depends on how often they're releasing new products as well. Like I think my clients who still require photography, they contact me whenever they've got a new product. They're like, hey, we've created this thing. It's just finished prototyping stage. Can you come in? We need professional photos of it in a studio environment and then in use. And then I think what ends up happening is once they've got those photos, they then take over and do their own in situ, sort of photo.
Yeah.
I mean, yours is more, I guess, like gym related stuff, and so I guess it could be.
Yeah, I was about to say my non-corporate photography. So say just like somebody who wants fitness photos and they're not a PT trying to promote themselves or something, just like they got really shredded for a comp or whatever and want some photos of it.
Yeah,
that work has stayed consistent or might be going up ever so slightly. And like family portraits has been sort of slowly growing year on year forever. So I feel like in people's personal lives, they value photography as much as they ever have. It's just more on the corporate side of things that I'm seeing this huge shift sort of thing. So say like for a PT where they used to just want a photo shoot, now they'd rather do a video shoot that's got some testimonials and a call to action and like all that stuff video based.
Yeah.
Whereas the people that want gym photos that aren't PTs, that haven't got a business interest, they're all still very happy with photos. So it's like interesting to see how much that's changing, but only in a professional sales marketing thing, not in like the everyday person sort of thing. Like I've done a couple of family portrait videos, but those were more, I offered that as an extra service and they were happy to get that as well, but they came in asking for photos. Yeah,
well, I mean, I guess there's our two different industries where you've got that retail side of things, which is family portraits and that, which is, at the end of the day, you're not going to get a family video, I guess. I mean, you do it at a wedding or whatever, but I don't think you organise a family video shoot just to sort of document 2021. I feel like
they will get more popular because this was sort of like, we're doing family portraits at the park, everything looked really nice. Just while we're there, just like shoot a bunch of B-roll clips and then later stick it to music. So sort of like, it's not like bonus to the photo shoot. It was sort of like a moving photo shoot. It wasn't like a documentary or something.
But I don't think the industry in that sense is going, like in that area, is going away from photography into only video.
Hell no. No
where a lot of what I do, I guess, is it's either TV shows or it's e-commerce. Like that's pretty much my two industries, and that's where I guess. I mean, a TV show is obviously video. There's not really stills. I mean, you get some behind the scenes stills or something to try and promote it. But the e-commerce side of things, I feel like is you've got your studio shot, you've got your in situ shot, and then it's video content from there on.
Yeah.
Apart from whatever the marketing person, that's from like, I guess, a freelancer perspective.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put you on the spot. How do you know that there's more demand for video and the demand for photography is going down, like in real life, as opposed to just your two clients suddenly want more video and you bought a video camera, so you're telling everybody about it. So like how do you know the industry as a whole is moving there and it's not just you personally are getting more video work now? Because I don't think that's 100%. The case at all, but prove it.
Well, okay, I think there's probably two things that stick out. I originally I saw it kind of start to change. I got more inquiries for video work and, you know, less photography inquiries, or even like past clients were like, yeah, we need you again to do photos, but we want to make sure we get this next shoot is video only. And originally I kind of resisted. I was like, wow, I always find it's tricky to try and perfect both in a photo. Like if you do a shoot and you've got photo and video content you need to produce, I hate swapping every 10 minutes between the two. I feel like that's like
100%.
Split the day up. Okay, we'll do the photos in the morning. Like if it's studio work, I do that like, let's just do those first. Once we've got that and they're all clean and they haven't been damaged or whatever in use, then let's go out into the in situ, and then we'll do half of the day as stills and half the day as video. But even that started to shift where it wasn't like trying to split the day up. It was like, no, today's just video. And as I said, I kind of resisted. I was like, look, I'm going to specialize in, I'm just a photographer. Like every photographer I've heard is now doing video. I'm the guy to come to if you want like really great stills, because I'm not focusing on the video. But more and more people like, we want video. And so much so that I've now got clients that, because they do their own photography in-house or they've got another guy, they just hire me for video work. And then number two, I think, like as I scroll through social media now, I feel like take, for example, Instagram. I feel like it's like every third post, it's a video. And yep. I feel like the way that you know this is sometimes, I mean, you can mute things. So, you know, it's you can turn the audio off, but sometimes if you're trying to be quiet or discreet because your partner's asleep next to you or you're in an environment where you just can't listen to things out loud, you're like, oh my gosh, I tried to turn that down so I could still hear it. But you're flicking through and you're like, oh my gosh, more and more audio coming at me, and I'm trying to like be discreet and be quiet. And
so you're scrolling Instagram and all the posts are noisy because they're videos now instead of
photos. Yeah. Which I feel like, I mean that could just be the way the algorithm's working now, or I mean they're going more towards reels, and that's as of the end of December 2021, they've introduced reels now into the main feed. So, you know, I guess it's becoming, you know, more and more
and
video
YouTube
based.
Shorts, I'm just like, the social networks are originally text, or it's like I was putting a text post on MySpace or Facebook sort of thing. Sort of thing. And then a couple of years later, it's predominantly pictures sort of thing, which I think, like, generally speaking, is a good move.
To say that, YouTube, a video-based platform, has started having those, or they didn't start, there's been a while now, but, you know, they've got those still, like, I guess, Instagram posts throughout the feed now.
Oh, in the main feed, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've introduced stills, but do you know why they've done that? I haven't read up on it.
I feel like they're just doing everything to compete with everyone. And they're like, we got to compete with TikTok. We got to compete with Instagram. So I feel like it's just another extension of that.
So you think that because TikTok is a video platform, they're almost trying, or I mean, it's very short videos, but they're almost stealing eyeballs away from YouTube because people just they get lost in TikTok land.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I've run out of time. I've got to work.
TikTok. But I think TikTok's monthly hours per user has skyrocketed in the last year. So it was like, you know, people are spending an hour a day on TikTok, and then now they're spending 2 hours a day on TikTok or whatever. Yeah. And YouTube's either flat or went slightly down, sort of thing. So it's like they're absolutely stealing a bunch of eyeball time, market share from other platforms. So I get why they do it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, they are doing just like a try everything to try and ward off TikTok.
So on that, right, Instagram Reels and then YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I found recently, which we had this discussion a while ago about how I didn't need to set up my rig to be 9:16 aspect ratio.
Here we go. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh man, it doesn't look so great. Recently, I've got a lot of things that are people wanting real, or not real so per se, but, you know, 9:16 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
So I've found that actually kind of frustrating because I'm like, okay, I'll shoot that way, whatever. And then we shoot that content 9:16 and they go, oh, can we also get a square version? Like it's almost flipped.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And you're like, the brief said 9:16 only. I actually confirmed this in an email. I just want, you know, you sure you want 9:16?
Here's your receipt from where you said it.
Yeah. And then next thing they go back and go, oh, but it would still be great to put it on YouTube 16:9. So once again, flipping our topics across a little bit, but do you shoot 16:9 and then have some sort of like overlay so that you can obviously get the framing, but then I feel like it wrecks the 16:9 framing because you've got it
I feel like we agree that if you shoot 16:9 and then reframe to 9:16, it never looks right. Like I feel like if you shot a really nice 16:9 widescreen video and then you made a Instagram 9:16 portrait version, I would just look at it and know, because it just, you wouldn't have framed it that way, sort of thing. And I feel like obviously me as a video guy, I can tell easily, but I feel like even just the general public, they can it just sort of feels like it's a re-edit sort of thing. Whereas if you shot some native like portrait video, you held your camera sideways, or you just had your markers on the monitor, so you were framing from the start for portrait, it just looks so much better. And then obviously like that's going to be tight enough that you couldn't possibly make a widescreen video.
Do you think... I find my problem is because my overlay, my 16:9 overlay, is in the center. I love, obviously, rule of thirds, blah, blah, blah. I like to frame my interviews, which a lot of the times if you shoot 16:9 and they're in the rule of third, you can then pop them across into the center and you're all good. But if I'm doing some overlay B-roll content and I've got my markers on, then I'm framing them up in the center. And then when I'm trying to then piece together this overlay into the 16:9 version, they're in the center and I don't feel like it's visually appealing. Do you think the camera manufacturers, maybe there is already one out there and I don't know it, but you should be able to move your framing, your overlay into a more appealing spot, so that when you do your 16:9 content, you can get the person in the right section, but they're on the rule of third for the 16:9 content.
So you want to be able to shoot wide, like 16:9, and then have an adjustable overlay instead of
shift it from the center to the left or the right.
But I feel like it still wouldn't, like, maybe that would allow you to be slightly better, like the tiniest bit, but just like if you're shooting 9:16 in the first place, you just frame it differently. Like I just feel I don't mean this in like an elitist way, or like if you don't, you're an idiot or something, but just if every time I turn my camera sideways, because I know it's only for social content, I just frame my shots differently and they look nice, and I feel like anybody could just tell it's nicely done. Whereas every time I've re-edited my 16:9, it just looks garbage. Like, not garbage, it's fine, but it doesn't feel like, you can just tell the intent wasn't for it to be presented that way in the first place.
I guess so. I'm very new to the 9:16 aspect ratio, I guess, because it hasn't been, I shoot TV, so that's like TV shows that aren't needing to be in that aspect ratio. And then also most of my clients haven't really jumped on there. They've kind of said, hey, can you make us a 15-second teaser or something that we can use to jump into that reel space. There's been a couple of clients that have gone, we're only shooting for that, and that's fine. That works out fine. But I guess for my client base, they're still wanting that original 16:9, but then they want 9:16 later on.
Oh, if you shot like a 5-minute wide video for YouTube and they wanted a 15-second trailer for it, Instagram portrait, I feel like that's okay. You can scrounge up 15 seconds of good footage that's portraitable, like you can crop that much off, sort of thing. That's not a problem.
Yeah, no, that's right. I guess it's just, I don't know. It's probably an easy thing for them to like move that marker.
Yeah, I feel like it's an easy feature to add, but it wouldn't actually solve your actual problem, which is you need different framing for both. I'm not because they're both so different. You're not going from like slightly wide to slightly wider, where you're chopping off the, like when you go from 16:9 to 18:9 or 2:1, which I often shoot in. I'm like, you're just chopping off the top and bottom 5%. Like it's no big deal. It's just slightly wider. Whereas I'm like, when you're literally chopping off like the left and right 30%, so you're left with like 40% of your original shot or whatever the maths is. Like no wonder you can't pick an angle for all your shots that perfectly suits both.
Look, I've been able to make it work so far, and to me, I mean that was the original question. Do you think it's going to be more and more a shoot that people contact you for, is a 9:16 video? Like I feel like I've seen a lot of content recently in behind the scenes stuff where they've got rotated cameras and they're shooting that way, but I don't think it's going to take over 16:9 because there's still...
I feel like it's going to grow.
YouTube still exists. Like YouTube is, 16:9 or,
but I've seen
widescreen.
Like more and more YouTube shorts that are all portrait because they have to be. But I just feel like, the market for video is growing as a whole. But the market for portrait video would be growing quicker than the market for video as a whole, sort of thing. So every year they want twice as much video, but there's more and more, like at the end of the day, they're advertising on Instagram or they're trying to build a TikTok following or whatever. Like us as camera nerds, YouTube's my favorite platform by far. Like I don't go
Yeah,
on Instagram that much, but I'm
100%.
on YouTube every day.
Yeah.
But it's like for the general public, like my wife's always on TikTok or Instagram. That's like her two favorite platforms.
Well,
So
did
if
you
a
see
company's
the-
trying to reach her,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, dude, turn the camera sideways.
TikTok. I just read the news the other day. Like TikTok overtook Google for like the most visited site.
What?
Yeah.
Google as a whole or YouTube or what?
I don't know. It was like big news. Like number one site now is TikTok,
Yeah.
not Google.
But I feel like,
but
like
details obviously matter.
if you measure by number of videos, TikTok could easily win because each video is only 10 seconds long. Whereas if it's
Yeah,
measured
yeah.
by actual view time,
Yeah.
that'd be so different. I have no doubt TikTok's still winning because like I just picture every teenage girl or young person just like scrolling TikTok for hours sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas YouTube is a bit more like, I want to fix the fridge or I want to see how much better an FX3 is than a C70
Yeah.
or that kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
where like somebody goes looking for an answer and they get it on YouTube, but it's not as doom scrolly, which is why I like it. It's a bit more quality rather than just an endless feed of garbage.
Yeah.
So I think, not saying those platforms are, but just like, I sort of want to choose what I'm watching rather than just be fed stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's right. It's a generational thing in a way as well, right? Like the younger generations just seem to just consume their information that like they're not on news platforms so much. They're 100% just like, I guess, not wasting their day, but like spending hours and hours on, TikTok or really just TikTok. I don't know. I don't do Facebook really anymore. I like Instagram. I like YouTube. I haven't signed up to TikTok because I'm just, I guess, not interested.
Yeah.
But
Monique, my wife.
Yeah.
Snare probably knows who Monique is, but for everyone else, yeah. So she'll send me TikTok links, and some of it's like really creative stuff. So I feel like it's not all like there's like I'll hear over here what she's watching. It's often garbage, like somebody just walking up to somebody in the street and telling them that shit for not wearing a mask, or just like just manufactured controversy and all that, which is all garbage. But there's also a whole bunch of creativity there. So I feel like there's heaps of photographers that are like making like YouTube like followings just on TikTok, and all that stuff shot in the TikTok way. So it's portrait and it's very short and straight to the point, which I kind of in a way do like, because I feel like when I go on YouTube sometimes there's a 1 minute intro and then there's a sponsor read, and then I feel like I'm watching a 1 minute video that's been padded out to 10 minutes to suit the algorithm or whatever.
Yeah.
So sort of in a way appreciate the directness of the few TikTok videos I've seen, but at the same time TikTok does feel very ADD, just keep scrolling sort of thing, which I'm
tunnel
into.
like you get like sucked in, and then you just like I know I've been on Instagram and gone into the explore tab and clicked on a video and then just like flick through for like it feels like forever, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just wanted to see the first one, and they just seem to just know what to send you next. So you just keep watching.
Like I hate the algorithm, what it does to people, but I feel like they've done it so well, man. Like like you just get a taste of it. You don't even realize you're in a time machine. You just lost 2 hours scrolling, and you can't remember what you saw. Well, just like I remember 3 videos from the last hour.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got probably the length that we're after.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you guys liking the length? Did you watch all the way through? Are you at the end here?
That's what she said. You liking the length?
Anyway, I guess we'll continue. We do these talks like every week on our boys' night, so we'll film another one with you guys and see where this goes. We might be at episode 50 and we've got like 1 million subscribers, or we might be at episode 2 and go, nobody watched it and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
catch you next time, guys.
Bye. Okay, guys, bonus episode here. This is just after we've literally just finished recording episode 1, and we've had a little discussion about how we thought we went and what we can improve for next time. My thought is it should just be casual, like we do every Wednesday night. We sort of just ramble on and we change topics really, really quickly. And Isaac was trying to thinking that maybe like I'll let you explain, like
mini episodes. So we just pick a topic, say post-production, like how you handle post-production on the business side of things, and then just do 5 to 20 minutes on that. That's its own episode. And then another episode just on how to keep your clients happy, and 5 to 20 minutes there. So sort of these a little bit more focused, so we can still waffle on a little bit. It's not some awkward pre-planned conversation, but it's sort of just this 1 hour roller coaster of us waffling on about stuff like we do every Wednesday night, which is what we do.
But I mean, for me, that's like, I feel like the the nature of podcasts, the podcast that I enjoy listening to is less formal, less it's just a conversation flows whichever direction it wants to go in. And I feel
what
like
platform are you watching these podcasts on?
Spotify.
Okay, so if we were doing a Spotify 1 hour episode and that's what our podcast was, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, okay.
So if you want to upload this to Spotify, I'll edit it for you. I'll do the editing. I fully believe this is epic.
Well,
for
see,
a Spotify Team Snibi podcast.
yeah.
My argument was if we upload 1 hour boys talking about stuff to YouTube, when every other video is like a 5-minute, here's how to turn a top handle into an XR K3M. Here's 10 minutes on the world's best FX3 camera rig. And it's just 1 hour of waffle sort of thing. Like, dude, I want to listen to the waffle. So no argument there. But as far as is that going to bring down the channel as a whole? Because now, the latest video, everyone was clicking off after 2% of the video, which is 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll watch the stats. My fear is that if you try and make 10, 20 minutes without any preparation and you talk about a topic, that you're going to get stuck halfway and not know where to take the conversation. Then we have to edit it heavily to try and make it flow so you guys don't get even more bored, I guess. Where if it just flows...
I understand that concern, but I feel like if we're going... Hello, Max.
Oh, he's coming in to say hi.
Oh,
that's right. It's behind the scenes. He's allowed to...
Yeah, but if we go, okay, this is our topic. So say we'll just pick post-production. So the business of post-production is today's topic.
Yeah.
If after 5 minutes you got nothing to say, you don't have to go awkward and ah. You just go, anything else, Isaac? And I'm like, no, I'm out. And we're like, peace, catch you in the next one, boys. And that's it sort of thing. So there's not a... You're not trying to pad it out to a certain length. It's just as long as it needs to be for that one topic. And then as soon as you feel like you're going to stray from the topic, just go, is there anything else in the current topic? No, okay, catch you next time. And then we'll just record another episode right now. Because if you had 3 nuggets recorded today rather than a 1 hour waffle, even though it might be the same content, but just instead of the format of a waffle, it's the format of 3 distinct units.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, which I feel like if you cut our current podcast into 3 sections for the different topics, that would sort of be totally fine by me, except that it would feel awkward coming in halfway through a conversation, arguing that.
What did you guys think? Maybe we're overthinking this. I think we should experiment and just keep going and see what works. But maybe you guys hate it and you can just tell us and we will adjust to...
Analytics will let us know.
Anyway, we'll see you on the next episode.
Catch up.